Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to an aspiring YouTube project, QuickSave TV. I'm Mike Pushkin, its host, and in this video we shall discuss the multiplayer co-op feature in Dead Island. I will try to address and describe everything I humanly can, all the positive and negative sides of it, as well as a speculation on how could things be improved in upcoming patches. I'm not sure how much time the video will take, and perhaps I'll have to split it on several parts. Also, I'm playing with different settings of sound and video quality, and I would love to hear your feedback. So if you have a moment after you watch the video, please comment on that. Very good. Now that we're done with the introduction, let's start with an overview of benefits player will receive if he goes online. Well done and optimized multiplayer will always extend gameplay hours and provide with a separate socializing and gaming experience within the same game, so it becomes only rational for players in the game such as Dead Island to seek out co-op teammate in order to form a team to deal better with crowds of not-so-friendly locals and experience entirely different approach to the game, especially considering the way developers promote friends to do so. Playing together will allow players to both explore difficult zones and hunt for treasure in much more casual atmosphere, knowing that their friends are out there. The lingering feeling of a common threat makes humans unite and stand firm against their common foe. In fact, some zones will almost require co-op because of uneven difficulty throughout the game. Very good players, of course, will be able to overcome these challenges on their own and will probably do so, but an average survivor will certainly benefit from having his friend in the same game session. It will make the game more fun and less frustrating at very least. However, not only fun, co-op game can open fields for many additional strategies and features otherwise locked or unusable in single player, such as flanking, surround, multitasking as a team, and combos. We shall discuss this, but it's certainly not everything you can do in co-op, as new things will sure be developed, which is great. Now, let's talk about them in detail. Flanking will be used by teams when facing difficult opponents, such as thugs or rams. It's very effective to keep shifting enemy aggro, aggressive attention, from one player to another, allowing everyone to deal blows and utilize their class-specific abilities, such as Xian's backstab. Flanking will not always be possible, especially in tight spaces, but there are certain ways to overcome that. Let's suppose we have Sam B and Xian attacking a thug. Now, Sam can start attacking the thug in order to get his aggro higher, forcing the enemy to pay all of his attention to Sam alone, while Xian will sneak up on the side and get behind the enemy in order to finish him off. The resulting situation will look much like a one-way street, because now Thug will be forced to deal with both players with no success, as opposed to Sam and Xian on one side being pinned down by the giant. It's also very wise to keep in mind how much hit points you and your allies have, in order to realize just in time when you are getting over your head. Surround can be utilized when there's a big mob of enemies which would in normal conditions overwhelm the group. A team of any size can surround foes from several directions, thus splitting their attention on equal parts, making it easier for everyone. Thereby, by managing and sharing aggro, players will have their own parts and overcome the difficulties faster. It will also help players with lower reserves of stamina to stay in combat for longer and to fight less enemies and keep them in tight check and under control. Multitasking as a group can be implemented when there's an outstanding team play and understanding between players in a squad. Players can share the burden of side quests, exploration or looting by dividing their energies on things they can do better on their own. By doing that, they will progress through the game faster, but the challenge will also rise as they will have to deal with enemies scaled for higher total number of survivors. But would games be fun if they wouldn't be challenging? Thus, players can be half a map away from each other, but still work as a single body, well organized and very fast. Combo is more of a fun way to spend time together rather than necessity, and its effectiveness will gradually fall when players get their hands on firearms. When we talk about combos, we understand two players working as part of one plan, where one player throws a highly explosive object at the enemy and his body throws his weapon almost at the same time, causing an explosion. The result is a great deal of satisfaction for both players and a successful kill. Just don't throw too close to yourself. Keep in mind, if your teammate is down, you can still revive him right on the battlefield, provided you have at least one medkit in your inventory and enough time to reach your friend. Time given to revive fallen comrade is only about 7 to 9 seconds. The trick is to keep close to each other, which is hard when doing multitasking. Otherwise, you'll not be able to reach your friend in time and all your efforts will be in vain. Experienced team will revive each other every time it's possible, while not so organized team will risk losing all their funds, which in turn will hinder their repairs, upgrades and customization of weaponry. All in all, when a team implements these little strategies, instead of separate players we see well-oiled cogs of one hell of a death machine, causing death and destruction to anyone daring to oppose it. For me, it's the charm of the multiplayer. These features can be utilized by players and they work exceptionally well in cooperative. Now, let's move on to the game specifics, which are united under one flag. They are well designed and well thought. We are going to start our discussion with the player stash. In that island, every player has access to a personal stash with an unlimited size. That means that you can keep anything you deem useful in your stash once you progress through the story to unlock it. The reason for having a stash is another feature, trading. For rare items that you'll find, there is a better purpose than just sell it off to a nearest merchant, because some players out there will be willing to trade with you and give you something useful in return. In any RPG, including that island, finding a rare item will not be an easy feat, which is the reason behind going online and trading with other people. With a basic interface within the game, you will be able to do just that, and it can be activated by pressing the use key while having your crosshair at another player in the same game lobby. Once the other player does the same, trade window shall pop up. During trading, you can offer any weapon or material you currently have with you in return for your colleague's items. Once both players hit accept trade, it is considered done and they will exchange immediately. However, trading is not the only thing you'll do with other survivors. When you play with other people, you're relatively safe, because you know there's someone watching your six. Unlike in single player, where you have to be mindful of what you're doing, because one carelessness will get you surrounded by 5 infected, which will be more than enough to make a sushi out of you. In multiplayer, you can ask your teammates to assist you in the task at hand. In case things do get hairy, you can always form a Spartan defense and hold your ground back to back. In addition to that, characters even warn other players of danger automatically. When you both are fighting and then you turn around just to see a zombie sneaking up on your friend, your character will shout out a warning to him, which will be audible to the other player. Now, how great is that? Characters also give feedback about their health condition, if they need help with their wounds, or if they believe the enemy is too much for them to handle. This feeling of a team spirit in the resort, which is crowded with living dead, is so integrated into the game that majority, if not all the dialogues and cinematics are made for several survivors playing at the same time. In absolute most of them, we see all 4 players together, giving their feedback and opinion, while every quest giver talks to the player in multiplayer and single player regardless, in plural. This may sound awkward for anyone playing alone, but for co-op players it makes this we stand together feel, which is really great. Another game in which this idea was really well implemented was Tabula Rasa, in which humans united in face of alien invasion, which just felt great. Zombies or aliens, regardless, common enemy brings us together. And so we reached the conclusion of the part 1. It was contributed mainly to the features within the multiplayer and positive impressions of the game. Stay tuned for part 2, which will cover the rest of the information about that island's cooperative. If you have any questions unanswered after watching my video, please write them here in comments and I will answer the best I can. If you enjoyed my analysis and the content, please like, subscribe and share with your friends. It takes you several clicks, but it brings me unending happiness and motivation to create more videos for your enjoyment. Thank you very much for watching, have a great day, and bye bye.